pious predecessors have agreed that the angel sitting on the right side records good deeds, whereas the one on the left side records evil deeds. In the authentic hadith, it is narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, "If any one of you stands for prayer, he is speaking in private to Allah. On his right there is an angel. Any gathering in which Allah is not remembered incurs sorrow and regret on the Day of Judgment." Abu Hurairah narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Whenever a group ends their gathering without having remembered Allah, their gathering is likened to the corpse of a dead donkey, and this gathering incurs sorrow for them on the Day of Judgment."
And the hadith, Sheikh Nasir declares it authentic in Sahih Sunan Abi Dawood. The hadith, ikhwan, is the statement of the Prophet ﷺ, "Ma min qawmin yaqumuna min majlis," that there are no people that rise from a majlis that they have not remembered Allah in, illa qamu an mithli jifati himar, that it is as though they have risen from partaking in the dead carcass of a donkey. Yeah, and in the jifa refers to its deceased carcass, that they have risen from partaking in the dead carcass of a donkey. It is as though they have stood from that gathering or that type of sitting. And on top of that, كَانَ لَهُمْ حَسْرَةٌ, يعني كَانَ لَهُمْ حَسْرَةٌ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. On the Day of Judgment, it will be a source and a form of regret for them. Now,
Abu Sa'id also narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Whenever a group gathers and does not remember Allah during their meeting, it will incur sorrow to them on the Day of Judgment, even if they enter the garden."
even if they enter Jannah, they will still regret that time and those periods of time that they didn't remember Allah Azza wa Jal. And so we should know, ikhwan, and be cautious of that and conscious of that. The time that we waste uttering and making utterances with the tongue, ikhwan, that are of little benefit, or of no benefit, or are of shar, Yawm al-Qiyamah, ayyuha al-ikhwa, it will be a source of remorse. If our sittings have no dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jalla and no remembrance of Allah Subhanahu, then Yawm al-Qiyamah, it will be a source of remorse for each and every one of us, even if we enter Jannah.
Mujahid said, "No people ever sat in a meeting and left before remembering Allah without a putrid, rotten smell, and their meeting will bear witness to their heedlessness. Likewise, no people ever sat in a meeting and remembered Allah before they left without leaving perfumed with a fragrance sweeter than the smell of musk, and their meeting will bear witness to their mindfulness."
And no doubt, ikhwan, you're familiar with the hadith of the Messenger of Allah, "Majtama'a qawmun fi baytin min buyuti Allah yatluna kitab Allah wa yatadarasunahu baynahum," that no people gather in a house from the houses of Allah, yani in the masjid, studying the book of Allah and revising and studying the book of Allah between them, except that sakina comes down upon them, tranquility comes down upon them. They are encompassed by the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. The angels spread their wings over them, and Allah Azza wa Jal ذكرهم الله في من عنده, and Allah Azza wa Jal mentions them with those who are with him, yani the inhabitants of the heavens. And so the gathering that is one of khair is one that has in it and sees a person leaving from that gathering having the mercy of Allah upon him, tranquility descending upon him being mentioned in a gathering of khair. And that is something that a person, he may actually feel that within himself. When he leaves that gathering of khair, he feels within himself sakina, something from tranquility. He feels as though he is drawn closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. Inside himself, he feels a difference. He feels, even if it is very slight, but he actually feels the benefit, ikhwan, of that gathering and of that sitting. No.